welcome to this week's episode of the Geek and the Freak podcast. My name is Gray, and with me, as ever, is my good friend Emily. Hi, Emily. How are you?
Hi.
You got the giggles immediately, Emily. That's a good start.
Hi, Gray.
Hello, mate.
I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. What have you been up to? Feels like ages since we spoke. We just said that off
Yeah,
recording, didn't we? Because when we go and do an in person, it's then like quite a long time before we
yeah.
get to
We then
record.
have a break on that week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really well. I took Friday and Monday off last.
Oh,
Well,
nice.
so Friday and Monday just gone. Yeah,
It's a long weekend.
because long weekend. Because the last break that I had was Easter, and that's still only 4 days. And then before that, it was Christmas.
Oh, wow.
And I thought, well, wait a minute, we've got to June, beginning of July, and I haven't had another break. So I just took a long weekend, and it was really lovely. I had that whole thing when I woke up on Saturday, thinking, oh no, it's Sunday. First of all, I was like, no, it's not. It's Saturday, and you've got Sunday, and you've got Monday. No, it's really good, really, really lovely.
Nice. You must be due like a week's holiday at some point, surely.
Yeah, I just haven't booked one yet. I think I've got a week off in August, end of August.
Okay.
And then I might take a week for my birthday.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, you
Christmas,
should.
so
Big birthday this year, isn't it?
well, like this episode, like we just said, 21.
21 again.
21 again. Maybe 22. Maybe 23. But no, I had a really good mix of going out and seeing friends and then just staying home and chilling out. So
Nice.
yeah, it was really good. Really good.
Any pubs involved?
How many pubs were involved? 1, 2, 3.
Great podcasting this.
4. Sorry.
Emily counting.
About 4 or 5 drinking establishments.
Okay, good stuff. Emily's version of Sesame Street.
1 glass of wine. 2 glasses of wine. What about you? How was your weekend?
Yeah, I had a lovely weekend. So it was my mum's 80th birthday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't get to see her on her actual birthday because I was working and I was away. I was at a big work thing event for 2 days. So I was away overnight on the 1st, and then her birthday was the 2nd. But she had a lovely day, so she'd gone out for like a meal with all of her girlfriends, if you like. So my sister was there, my niece was there, and then all my mum's friends through like the friends she's met at different phases in her life, which is a really cool thing to do, I think. So she took them all out and paid for it all.
Oh wow.
Yeah, a really nice thing for her to do. But she loves doing things like that. And then I went over on Saturday and we went to my sister's for a barbecue, which was great. And my stepsister and her partner were there as well, which was really nice.
Oh, and the weather was beautiful.
It was so nice.
It was nice.
We had a bit of rain, so we did a barbecue, but we ended up eating inside because it wasn't as warm as it's been, and there was a bit of a threat of rain. But yeah, she loved it, and she's pretty cool, my mum. Like, she's 80 years old, and we got her an iPad. Like a brand new iPad, and she was so chuffed with it.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. And then on Sunday, she took us all out for Sunday lunch, I guess you would say, to this really posh hotel on the island called The Royal, which is in Ventnor. And it's the hotel where my sister and my brother-in-law had their wedding reception. And like,
oh, how lovely.
Yeah, and so it was like we were all like having flashbacks to like their wedding, which was in 97, so like years and years ago now.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's wild. Like, yeah, so 97. And obviously, like, my niece was there, my nephew came as well, which was great. My mum was so chuffed that he was there. He, let me have a few sneaky cigarettes, so that was nice. I've been having a few sneaky cigarettes off and on.
Oh, I thought that the Isle of Wight was it. You were like,
normally
no,
it is. Normally it is. But let me regale you with tales of cigarettes. So at the big meeting I was at over 2 days, I got to about the end of the first day, I think, maybe not that far. Someone who's listening might correct me. And I was like sneaking over to the little smoking area and going, can I could I steal a little cigarette off someone? And then obviously there are like people in my team were all at the meeting walking past going, what?
What's Gray
Like,
doing
what are
smoking?
you smoking? I didn't know you smoked. Do you smoke? So I was like, well, I don't normally, but like as a little treat, because I don't drink, I don't eat meat, I don't smoke normally.
You've been having a lot of smoking treats recently, Gray.
Yeah, so there was that. Then there was with at the weekend, and I sneaked one today as well, which is bad, isn't it? So I bumped into. So I was at one of the work head offices, and I bumped into one of the people who was at the meeting who I'd been bumming a bag off, and she was like, we had lunch together, and she was like, do you wanna come and have a cigarette? And I was like, I've been waiting for you to ask, Amy.
Who needs pudding where you can have a
So I
fag?
did have one today, but that, I'm not buying any, so it's just the odd one here and there. Another thing that's been happening, I've noticed. I'll say this quietly because I think she's doing it on the sly, but my neighbour is also smoking occasionally, I think, or somebody that she has come to the house.
Have you been catching fags across the fence?
Like leaning out the back door. Because that people obviously, if you don't smoke, then you don't like that smell. But if you do smoke, then
like,
or are an
"Ooh."
ex-smoker, yeah, it's like it's a nice smell, isn't it?
It is.
But yes, it was a really nice weekend. It was lovely.
The photos look lovely. They really did. There were some really great photos, isn't there?
Oh yeah. There was. That iPhone of mine takes that 16 Pro takes some beautiful photos. Everyone was like, "Wow, those photographs." My mum is like, "Airdrop them to me. Airdrop it. If you're taking a nice one again, airdrop it. Airdrop it." Honestly, she says the phrase "airdrop" more than she says anything else. And I'm like, "How do you even know about airdrop?" It's amazing.
She's more tech than you are.
She is. She listens to more modern music than I do. She knows more like modern, new kind of artists than I do. It's amazing.
Oh, wow. Oh, speaking of artists, should we have a little quick Glasto catch up?
Oh, yeah, let's talk about Glasgow. So what did you watch? But we should be clear, neither of us went. But
No, just the stuff we saw on TV. I've now got to think about who I actually saw. 1975.
Yes, they headlined, didn't they? What did you think? I didn't watch it. What did you think?
Not my kind of thing. Very middle of the road, and I was really surprised they were headlining. Really surprised.
Yeah, I find them very dull. They're not my bag at all.
No, that was a bit kind of like, ooh. I watched Neil Young, and he was brilliant. He was really good.
Yeah, I watched Neil Young.
I knew that he would be good. Saw a bit of Rod Stewart.
I haven't watched that yet. What was it like?
It was okay, but unfortunately, the bit that I saw was when Lulu obviously rocked out on stage as well.
Did she? Oh God!
It was a little bit.
How old is it? She must be cracking on now as well, Lulu.
Well, it was a little bit embarrassing, I thought. And then when he sang "We Are Sailing," he put a captain's hat on. I was just like, no,
I think he's always done that, hasn't he?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that might be a bit because it's if you're in the Navy, you kind of love "We Are Sailing," don't you? It's a
bit cringe, though. It was a bit cringe.
I just think he looks like someone's old gran these days. For a while I've thought that about Rod Stewart.
Oh, I'm yet to see, and I will watch it at some point. I'm yet to see the kneecap footage.
Yes, I've heard bits of it. I haven't watched it.
So you know that the BBC obviously wasn't going to live stream it. They were going to record it and then release their version of the nice bits. And there was a lady, this is amazing, there was a lady in the audience who streamed the whole thing live on Facebook. Yeah. Do you know what they did? They turned around and they were like, this is amazing. Free tickets to any gig you want.
Wow. Wow.
Which I thought was brilliant. Really, really good.
Yeah, I haven't watched that. What did I watch? I watched Alanis Morissette, who I thought was amazing.
You said she was good, yeah.
Yeah, she was. She just kind of came out and just stomped around the stage. Like, she had all this energy for someone who's a little tiny bit younger than I am. She was brilliant and had still got her voice, like properly got her powerful voice.
Such a strong voice, yeah. Really strong voice.
She was cool. And then I watched Biffy. So I love Biffy, but Biffy were they were crap. They were really
Oh
disappointing. I
no.
thought. It might have been that it was fine if you were there in the audience, but maybe it was the BBC sound mixing that was poor. But
Oh,
it didn't sound great. It sounded off. But also, the other thing I noticed was the field was not very full for them either.
really?
Yeah, which is like I saw them in
Oh.
that field. I don't know, probably about 7 or 8 years ago.
Was it
And
the
they
pyramid stage or?
pyramid stage, same slot, so second on before the headliner, and the field was rammed. It was, there were lots of people there watching them, so
Oh
it was
wow.
weird. It was a
Okay.
bit weird. There's a big old seagull making a lot of noise on your audio.
Well, he wasn't very happy about Biffy Clyro either, by the
He
sounds of
wasn't. He
things.
wasn't. He wasn't. And that was about it. I didn't really watch much else. I've watched a bit since. So Wolf Alice were good. What I've seen of their set.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Wet Leg were there, so I've watched a bit of Wet Leg.
I've heard quite a lot on the radio on Six Music and Radio 2 when they're going, oh, let's listen to this from Glastonbury. Oh, and when was it? I meant to message you and I completely forgot. I think it was yesterday on Lamo show on Six Music, and they had Wet Leg in session.
Oh, okay. I'll check that out.
So go back and listen to that. I don't know whether it was live last night or whether it was from another time when they did it, but I thought, I must remember to tell Grace. So.
Okay, yeah, I'll check that out. There's a bit in their set where they play CPR, and in CPR there's a bit where they like pretend they're having a phone call between the two girls.
Okay.
Yeah, 999. What's your emergency? And she says, "Oh, I'm in love." And Hester, who is she's not the most confident person.
Yeah, we said before. Yeah,
sits by the drum kit, picks up the phone, and says, 999 Glastonbury calling. What's your emergency?
Oh, brilliant!
And Rianne is not expecting her to say Glastonbury, and they just laugh, and it's just lovely. Like the interaction between them's great.
Oh,
yeah, they're very cool. So yeah, I have enjoyed watching a few bits. Since.
Yeah, I need to probably watch more. So yeah. This week's sponsor is the local petting zoo, which is out of the village along Blackberry Lane. It's run by Gillian and her team. And at the petting zoo, they've got donkeys, chickens and ducks, guinea pigs. I love a guinea pig. Alpacas, pot-bellied pigs. There's a maze. There's an adventure playground. There's the lovely cafe and the picnic area. And Gillian said that if anyone pops along and mentions the podcast, Gillian will let you feed the ponies. which is a real special treat. So it really is a fun day out for all the family.
For all the family.
All the family. So yeah, thank you very much, Gillian.
Awesome. Thank you, Gillian. Sure, you're going to have lots of people popping along to feed the pony. Who was the
ponies? There's more than one.
Oh, there's more. There's lots of ponies.
Lots of ponies that need feeding, Gray. Lots of ponies at Gillian's place.
Awesome. I mean, I'm just going to hold my tongue, I think.
Let's hope the ponies do as well.
Yeah. Who was last week's sponsor, Emily? Remind me.
It was our lovely friend at the greengrocers with the 2 ripe and juicy plums for every listener.
Oh, of course. And were the plums flying off the shelves, or?
Plums, all gone.
All gone, sold out.
Buffed up by hand, all gone.
Perfect. All right. That's great. Thank you very much, Emily, as ever, for securing this week's sponsor. Much appreciated.
You are welcome. You're welcome. Welcome back, everybody, to the second part of the latest episode of The Geek and the Freak. Gray, I think you forgot to tell us something.
Yeah, just a little something. So, my niece is quite funny, and she, my sister, and my mum had done a trip to London earlier in the year to go and see ABBA Voyage or whatever it's called. Is that the right name?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
They loved it. And they did some shopping in Stratford, which is where it is, ahead of going to the gig. it's not really a gig, is it? It's just go watch some holograms.
It's a show.
It's a show. Yeah, I'm being cynical about it. My sister will kill me for saying it like that. I might edit that out. But apparently, while they were shopping, they spotted like a Ann Summers shop and joked about going in and like made fun of going in to buy sexy underwear. And my mum sort of jokingly said, "Oh, maybe I'll go and get some," sort of as a bit of a joke. Apparently, so we were
on her
giving
80th birthday. She thought she gets the suspenders.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe. Well, so we're giving her gifts on Sunday, and my niece gives her this little present, and it was a bullet vibrator from from Ann Summers.
Your niece for your mum for her 80th birthday.
Yeah. So she bought her grandmother a vibrator for her 80th, which we all thought was hilarious. So for the rest of the weekend, there were just constantly vibrator jokes all weekend, even at the posh restaurant.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that is brilliant.
I knew you'd find that funny. So yeah, there you go. So we'll put that down. But I did want to just make sure I forgot to mention it earlier. So what's the first email, Emily? Do you want to read out the first email we've got?
So the first email is from one of our favourite listeners. It's the one and only Swanee. Hello, Swanee. Thank you so much for emailing.
Hi, Swanee.
So Swanee says, "Hi, Emily and Gray. Following your feedback to listeners regarding the lack of emails in recent weeks, I felt compelled to reply and apologise for being a disgrace. You have my assurance that I will not allow such a drought to happen again."
Quite right, too.
So, following the fancy dress discussion in the Twisty episode, being Swan or Swanee, as most friends call me, I look forward to hearing more about Gray's Swan fancy dress story. Do you want to tell that quickly now before I finish the email? Or
yeah, so as previously discussed, I don't really do fancy dress very often. In fact, very often, if at all. I think I've done it twice, both times properly at Festival. But the Swan thing was the theme was like rock stars or something, I think, for the Festival. So people were dressing up as famous people, basically.
Mm-hmm. And let's just remind ourselves that when you go to a festival, you're packing small and light, and you haven't necessarily got all the room to have the most amazing costume.
No, although some people do somehow find the room to bring ridiculous stuff, but I didn't. So I had this idea. I think Bjork was playing that year. I think.
Oh wow, that would have been great.
Which was brilliant. She was great. But she had maybe a year or two before that quite famously worn a dress somewhere that was basically a swan.
It was a premiere or something, wasn't it?
Premiere or like one of those posh and weird American parties.
And she squatted down and she laid an egg.
She did squat down and lay an egg. Now, just to be clear, that bit I didn't take an egg with me. But I did wear a bandage on my arm. I'll put some pictures on the YouTube thing, on the YouTube video. But basically, on my arm, I put a bandage, and then I painted like a beak with an orange felt tip pen. I think like it was the most basic thing ever to look like the beak of a swan. Neck. Yeah, but then I got a load of feathers for it as well, so it had some feathers on it, and we used 2 orange zips that we attached to it to look like legs.
It's legs.
Yeah.
And you were wearing a white tutu.
I wore a white tutu, and I wore white, I guess like jogging bottoms, I think, and white trainers, and a white t-shirt. So I was all in white with a white tutu, and a white bandage on my arm as the swan. And then I did some stuff with my hair was a bit longer at that point, and I wore,
you did little twisty spiky bits in your hair.
Yeah, twisty spiky bits in my hair. Yeah. And the swan came back the following year as seagull for there was like an avian theme, I think, and I was like, well, I'll just bring swan again, but we called it the seagull.
We've got to find that video. If we can find that video, that would be great to post that
It would, yes. I will
It
see.
really, really would.
I'll see if I've got it. If not, we'll chase our friend Scott, who I suspect has definitely got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It
see,
was a very
when I
fun
do
fancy dress.
when I do fancy dress, if I'm able to, as in not necessarily at a festival, I will go all out.
Yeah.
I don't do things by halves. I just go full on, full on. And I think this is where I shall pick up the rest of Swanee's email, because
Go on.
this is brilliant. This is a great story. And
Okay.
I have had his permission to read this out. I once went to a fancy dress theme party as a monk and then ended up in a lock-in at my local pub. Some hours later, as dawn approached, I was staggering home, still in my full monk outfit, including suitable hairpiece, when a very drunk man rode by and promptly fell off his bike in the middle of the road. I rushed to his aid and helped him up, checked he was okay, and assisted him in getting back on his bike, and he rode off. I do wonder if he ever had any recollection of getting home and being assisted by a monk, or he was just put it down to his drunken mind playing tricks. So, staying on the fancy dress theme this week, I have a question for you, Emily. I'm sure we can both answer it, but seeing as I'm more into fancy dress than you, then
Yeah.
what would be your go-to fancy dress outfit and why?
Oh my God.
So there's one that I did one year for Halloween, and I absolutely loved it. I actually pinched the idea from Darlene in Roseanne. Do you remember Roseanne?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
So Darlene was the tomboy, okay?
Yeah.
And when the first scene of the show, it was Darlene on the phone, and she was on the phone like this, side profile, and her hair was all up. She had a tiara on. She had like a proper prom dress on and everything. It was just amazing. And she was you'd never see Darlene in anything like that ever. And we knew it was the Halloween episode, and I was like, oh, this is hilarious. You know, she's just like, oh, I'll show everyone. I'll dress up like a princess, you know, because that would be incredible. Chatting away on the phone with her friend, puts the phone down, turns round, and the other side of her is literally covered in blood, scars. Her dress is all cut up. So I pinched the idea, and I did that one Halloween. So one side of me, I went and bought like a light coloured prom dress from a charity shop. So one side was normal, and I had, you know, fancy jewelry on, and I painted my nails, and I still had quite long hair.
Yeah.
I put ringlets in my hair and made this side all like lovely, pretty makeup and all like print. Then this side, I covered myself in blood. I had mud and straw caked in my hair. I had rips all on the dress. It was splattered with blood and like just great big gouges everywhere, all down my arms. I absolutely loved it. I even blacked out one of my teeth. And I absolutely loved it. That was so much fun.
That's very cool.
You could do that thing where you turn one way. Oh, doesn't she look beautiful? You turn the other way. Oh my God, she's a monster.
That's cool.
So that would be my go-to.
Okay.
There's lots of other things that I'd love to try. I'd like to really go all out with proper face paints and like all that latex. You know, that'd be amazing. What would your go-to fancy dress outfit be? Would it be the swan?
I think it would be would it be the full swan? I don't know. I mean,
no, I mean just like the little arm.
Yeah, the arm bit. Yeah, the seagull as it became.
That was great.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, I've still got it. I wouldn't want to put it anywhere near my arm now, but
oh God, no! It probably hasn't been through. Probably never went through the wash from the first festival.
No, it's never been washed. But I do still have it because it's just a funny thing to have kept. So yeah, I think mine would probably be the swan. There aren't many other options to go through. I do remember vaguely. So I don't know whether I've ever told this you before, but I had a nickname when I was at school, and I dressed up as my nickname for the last party at middle school.
What was your nickname?
Cabbage. I dressed up as I dressed up.
Cabbage?
So my surname is Collins, which I don't know whether I've ever said on the podcast before. There you go. That's some information you've not had. And somebody like called me Cauliflower Collins, and for some reason it it moved from cauliflower to cabbage, and
Cabbage Patch Collins.
But this is way before Cabbage Patch Kids. It was at primary school, and people called me Cabbage, and it just stuck. And I got called Cabbage right the way through all of my school years. I've still got one friend who probably doesn't listen to the podcast called John, and we text each other on our birthdays every year because they're really close together. And every so often he will say, hey Cabbage, hey Cabs, like,
Aww.
yeah. But there were teachers at middle school that didn't know what my real name was and just called me Cabbage.
No. Oh, it's like something out of Grange Hill.
Yeah, I've still got a little book that everyone signed from that school. And Mr. Hines just put "Be a good cabbage." That was from a teacher. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So yeah.
So as ever, Swanee, thank you so much. And Swanee also said that he loves the sponsors. They crack me up. They're very genuine sponsors, Swanee. You do know that, don't you? And of course, he always hangs on for the dad joke. So we know Swanee loves a dad joke as well.
Yeah. Thank you, Swanee. We really appreciate you getting in touch.
We do. Thank you so much.
And we had another email too, didn't we?
We did. I am just scrolling through to find it here. This is a good one, actually.
Okay. That's good.
Questions for the show. So this is from Joe and Scott.
Hi, guys.
Hi. Hi, Emily and Gray. So this has inspired our next email. Tell us about the best holiday you have ever had or your ideal holiday. We're looking for holiday inspiration, and Joe's just being nosy. Love from two of the biggest fans of the show, Scott and Joe.
So who do you want to go first?
What's the best holiday you've ever had, do you think?
It's a really good question.
I'm almost thinking, could this be another episode? Because there's so many holidays. I know Joe just wants one, but I've got so many amazing memories of holidays as a kid. I mean, abroad holidays, at home holidays.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Like I did that. We talked about it a little bit on the podcast before. I did that big trip to Australia when I was
where you were a hairdresser.
Where I was a hairdresser. But it's funny, we were talking about it. I know that's hilarious. It is hilarious. It's funny, we were talking about it this weekend, and I remember saying like that sort of final 6 weeks where we did a proper tour around like a big chunk of Australia. That was amazing. I absolutely loved doing that. That was amazing. More recently, I loved going to New York. I was chatting to my boss Jill came and visited me yesterday, and was chatting about how amazing that trip to New York was, and just being blown away by it as a city.
I'd love to go to New York.
It's got a whole other vibe to it, I think.
My friend Lee's been loads of times, and he said it is just like being on a film set. The steam coming off the street, everything. He said it's just exactly the same as being in one of the movies.
It's breathtaking as well. Like
I'm sure
that photo I've got in my lounge that I took from the Rockefeller Center. I mean, we've already established I like cry at everything. But honestly,
Cabbage the crier.
Oh my god! I mean, that is not becoming my new nickname.
That could be the title of this episode. Cabbage the crier.
I mean, it might have to be now. But I can remember, I got up there on that view, just took it, genuinely took my breath away, and I got really emotional seeing it, because it's just overwhelming, the scale of it and all the skyscrapers. It's just I've never experienced anything like that. I mean, I've been to some other big cities, but New York special.
Like that. Oh, well, perhaps we should have a little episode where we talk about holidays.
We could do that. I've got loads of holidays from when I was young I could talk about.
Joe Scott, you'll just have to wait. You're either going to end up camping somewhere, or you're going to be in Australia. We're not quite sure yet.
So do you think, maybe as an in-person episode, is that what you're suggesting we do that as?
No. We could just do that as a
topic
week.
1 week on a topic. Yeah, okay. Topic. Next week. Okay, when we can prep a bit for the topic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll read this out, but I don't know whether you want to keep it in or not. Because I thought this was really sweet. I don't know if you saw this from Joe.
I didn't. Not allowed to read it.
No, you're not. You're not. I'm going to block you. Emails is my thing. Let me have one.
I need to have access to the emails.
Let me have one.
You've got
thing.
it. You've got it.
Well, you mustn't read them.
But that's ridiculous. It's like me saying you mustn't look at the TikToks. Like, it's crazy.
No, but sometimes I want it to be a surprise.
You need to tell me when there's an email that you don't want me to read. That's what needs to happen. Okay. Anyway.
Don't read any of the emails. There you go. You've been told. Okay. Joe also came back and said, P.S. I was so touched by the story you told about special memories you have of watching with your mum, what a special relationship you had. And I said, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. And I did also say, we had to cut quite a bit of out at the end because I was crying.
You were, bless you. Bless
I was.
I got, so my friend Amber also found that very touching and moving as well, I should say.
Oh, did she? Oh.
Yeah. We need to get a Discord channel up and running so we can get this feedback live in the moment.
I thought you were going to say we need to get more things that make you cry.
Well, yeah, I mean, anything. It's good for the content. It's good for the content.
This week, Nina's going to cry about something else.
Yes, just like Cabbage the Crier, whatever that is. But yeah, we should. I'm quite keen that at some point we start a Discord channel, as we've talked about off of the podcast. So we might do that at some point because it will give people the opportunity to kind of give live feedback, like in the moment as they're listening.
Totally.
But
great
yeah,
idea.
Do you want to tell people where they can send their emails to? Because we'd like to have more of them, please. It's so helpful.
And obviously, as we've just established, only I'm the person who's allowed to read them and reply to them.
Yeah, so I'm going to leave all that in so you get a little sample of the dynamic.
It's my only job. So if you would like to email us with any questions...
Just if you want to email Emily, that's the...
Oh, okay. Oh, you see... I won after all. So if you'd like to email me, and I might read it out to Gray, I don't know. If you'd like to email us, your emails will get read out on the show. We will discuss them. Any topics you want us to talk about, any songs you want us to listen to, you can get us at thegeekandthefreakpod at gmail.com.
Brilliant. Thank you, Emily. And you can also find us on Instagram as the Geek and the Freak Pod. And we are the Geek and the Freak on TikTok, if that is your preferred short form video thing. We should just mention we did get some feedback on a couple of one of last week's TikToks. So I thought, I'll be clever. And so I clipped out of the video what film I was actually talking about. So I was trying to encourage people to go and find the podcast to hear the whole episode so they could find out what film had made me cry the most. So I blanked out and muted myself saying what the film was. We got accused of clickbait, Emily.
So the first person said, why have you blanked out what film it was? What's the point of that? And someone else went, it's clickbait because they want us to go and listen to the show. Yes,
mate, it is. That's exactly what it was.
Well, I hope they listened.
Yes. Oh, they probably didn't, did they? They probably didn't. Anyway, thank you all very much for listening. We will be back next week with another episode.
Thanks very much, everybody. We'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye for now.
Why was the fly dancing on the jam jar?
I don't know. Why was the fly dancing on the jam jar?
Because on the lid it said twist to open.
Oh my God. Very good. Very good.
I made that joke up, guys, about 2015, it says here.
You wrote it down?
Yeah, I put it on my social media.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You wrote it down. Oh, no, not a pen and paper.
All right, analog Emily. I think I'm allergic to bacon.
Why are you allergic to bacon?
Every time I eat some, I come out in rashes.